Hi, welcome back to CS 170. I just wanted to hit on a couple of things. I put out an announcement. I think some people were working on Excel assignment 9, had some issues with the question G. So I put something out there just as a little bit of a tip. It can help people maybe to do this assignment. One was to look at how many employees are in a particular state, and also one was asking about who is the longest serving employee for the company. Um, so the one for serving the longest term employee, I put a screenshot here. If you look at doing the sort criteria, you see up here where you can do sort. You can pick age in the company, right? And then you do a sort from low to high, let's say, and then you'll be able to see the longest serving person in the company. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at how many person is in each state. Obviously, you can just do a count on all of these. If you were to kind of sort these, you can see that pretty easily. The other thing you can do, which I provide an example of, and I actually provide, so here you can just copy and paste this into Excel, but you can come up with this distinct list, right? There's actually a function in Excel to remove duplicates. So you can just come up with this distinct list like this, and then you can do your count if, and you refer to this cell, look at this range, and it'll tell you how many of these are in here. And that's the count of employees per state. So I hope that helps you for assignment 9. Take a look, let me know if there's any questions on that. The other two things, hopefully they're pretty quick things. So one was to cover the data validation tool. So I'm back to the vegetables sheet again. So let me select this. Let me go to data. Oh, I'm already on data. So on data, you could do a number of things, but let me just put filter on here. I'm going to use that later for the subtotals. And here's data validation. Okay, and what do I want to do a data validation on? Let me do a data validation, let's say on amount, right? So if I do that, and then I say, I want to check if it's like a whole number. I actually didn't look through this whole list, but it kind of looks like everything is a whole number. If it's not, I guess I'll find out right away. And let's say I'm saying there's no such thing as a negative price or a negative amount, right? That kind of wouldn't make sense. So you could even say I should have something greater than 1, but at least let me say 0. And then let me say the maximum price is 5,000. Let me put 5,000 here. I don't think there's anything higher than 5,000 here. All right, so now I have this validation in place here. So let's see what happens if I go in here and change this to 6,000. You can see I get an error, right? Because I basically put a check on this column for anything that's not within a range of 0 to 5,000. So that's all this does. It's something useful if you want to kind of create something, to help you not make mistakes or reduce the chance of make mistakes and stuff like that. So I'll hit cancel because, I'm not going to want to put that value in here. And it goes back to this. Okay, so that's what this data validation tool is. Let me just clear this out here. So I'm just going to clear this and just put it back to what it was before. Okay, now the other thing is, the reason why I set this up with the filter is because I want to do a subtotal. Right, now it just happened, I happen to have this already sorted by country. And you'll see a reason why I did that. Right? And you remember from the last video, I did the sorting. Right? So you can do this sorting here. So I did the sorting by country. So now if I go here to subtotal, and I can pick any of these. But let's say I'm going to do a change on country. Right? And based on that country, I want to do the sum of the amount. So basically subtotal. Right? So here's the amount here, and I want to know per country what's the total amount of all of these products put together. Okay, and then I click on OK, and you can see this, right? So basically it took everything from Canada and did this. Okay, now actually you really could do this for the homework for assignment G, to do a subtotal based of the some subtotal of the whatever, let's say in this case employees per state. You can do that, but no need to do that. Like I said, you can do the count if. The homework assignment is really based on stuff that we should have covered earlier, so you can use the count if to get the employees. So, you know, with Excel, there's a number of different ways to achieve the same outcome. But this is one thing that I'm showing you right now, is the ability to do the subtotal. There's actually other things I can do programmatically from here. I can do, oh, actually, let me not put it here. I guess I can put it here. So you can see subtotal here, and we can do the subtotal like this here too. And you know, the one thing to note, and you know, basically I would just highlight this whole range, right? The one thing to note with the subtotal, if I do it like from here, you know, on here I can do all kinds of filters and whatnot. So if you do like a regular count, because you might say, well, what's the difference between doing like the subtotal versus the count on here? And maybe you can even try a small set of data. You can see the difference. The difference will be based on you filtering out records. Okay, so when you filter out the records, then it doesn't get factored in to the subtotal. Whereas for the count, it will look even at the hidden records. So you can try that on your own to see what I'm talking about. So that's why you see a difference if you want to do a subtotal versus a count here. Okay. Let's come back here just to do another example for the subtotal. And let me see here. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't do that. Because once I have the one here, if I want to change it, then I don't want to mess things up. So actually, I had this sort of by country before. Let's do this by category. So I'm going to sort the category. So now I have all the fruit and then the vegetables. That's just two things, right? And then let me go back here to subtotal. And now I'm going to do each change on category. Okay, this is important, right? So you see each change in, right? That's why this has to be sorted, right? Because if this wasn't sorted and was just changing all over the place, then you can have a whole bunch of different subtotals. So it's very important that if you want to get all of the fruits, let's say, then you have to sort it so all the fruits are together. Then you have the sum, and then you have the amount. If I click on this, you can see I can do other things here too. I can do a count, right? How many fruits are there, right? Just like I was just talking about with the states, right? How many, you know, per state, right? So that's why I said you could actually use the subtotal function for the state, as long as you sort all of the states for the assignment. Okay, so it's up to you. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of ways to do these things, but I'm going to do the sum, and I'm going to keep it on the amount. Okay, let's see. And we should have all fruit, which we do, and have the amount for the fruit, and then we have all the vegetables and the amount for the vegetables. Okay, I'm gonna cut this video short, and then I'm gonna step into some more functions and whatnot, and I'll be posting that out too. Okay, let me know if there's any questions on these, and do on your own time, do try to do the count and subtotal, and do some filtering on the records, and you should see what I'm talking about as the difference between doing a count versus a subtotal. Okay, play around with that. Let me know if there's any questions. Thank you.